in exercise 13, us versus them. It's so especially relevant right now. Relating resiliently to just one other person at a time can be hard. And negotiating relationships between groups of people can be even harder. Knowing who was kin and who was not, who was a member of the tribe and who was not, was essential for the survival of our human ancestors on the savannah. And our brains are evolutionarily hardwired to automatically distinguish between groups of us and them without conscious processing. One of the heartaches of human civilization is how quickly and automatically our brains react reflexively to those differences. Theory of mind, the capacity to recognize and accept differences between people, can be distorted by layers of negative stereotypes and beliefs and behavioral systems that turn basic neurobiological responses into discrimination and oppression. I experienced that heartache as I was writing the book Resilience. I was walking in my neighborhood, turning a corner, when I noticed someone dark-skinned walking toward me, and I found myself wondering, are more Mexicans moving into the neighborhood? And instantly, I thought, Linda, that's a racist thought. And then in the next instant, I recognized the person. He was the computer guru that I rely on every other week to resolve wobbles and glitches and heartaches with my digital technology. That entire sequence of thought took less than 10 seconds. And the heartache and the shame lasted much longer. And the rewiring, even little and often, will take longer still. In Deep Diversity, Overcoming Us versus Them, the racial diversity expert Shakhil Choudhury tells of his own experience of flunking the implicit association test as a psychological tool that is often used to detect unconscious biases. And then living in Toronto, Canada, Choudhury, who is of Pakistani descent, discovered to his chagrin that the test indicated that he had an unconscious preference for white people over Black people. He developed his own practice to rectify, to recondition this bias. The exercise Us versus Them is a modified version of this practice. You may choose to work with any group of people you identify as other, toward whom you know you have a negative bias. Men or women, elders or children, members of any minority group, people of a particular sexual orientation, football players, or CEOs. In this exercise, Us versus Them, you identify the category of other you're going to practice with. You identify negative thoughts or assumptions that go through your mind when you encounter or imagine encountering someone in this group, especially perceptions of danger. And you identify several positive thoughts to use for the juxtaposition, especially thoughts or assumptions associated with safety, qualities such as being kind, generous, hardworking, and practical. And as you encounter or imagine encountering a member of this group, you repeat your positive thoughts over and over. You keep repeating them until you notice a shift in your current perception of this person. Notice whether the original negative perceptions come up less frequently or begin to fade in the background. Continue repeating this practice until these positive thoughts automatically come to mind when you encounter someone in this group. And as you experience success with this tool, practice it with different groups, using different perceptions and messages. When Choudhury took the implicit association test again several years later, results indicated he had broken the prejudice habit. His conscious practice of reconditioning had rewired his unconscious conditioned bias. This is a great example of deepening relational intelligence.